Today, I will be doing a tier list of the types of rides that Kings Island should add for their next edition, because me and everybody know that their next attraction will be coming in either 2025 or 2026, and they need to choose one of these rides, because if it's not one of these 9 or 10 rides here, I won't be very happy. But shout out to me for making the tier list, and other than that, let's begin. And also, comment down below if you like these tier list videos still, because I like doing these, and I just want to know if you guys still like them. But the very first ride that we are going to be putting on the tier list, RMC Raptor. I'm going to go B tier. I think that this could be a very cool ride in the old Vortex plot of land. I think that if they made it to where it had like a 90-degree drop, was a long ride, still had the whippy elements though, had like the longer trains but still were able to have the whippier elements, I think that would be so cool. And it's definitely on the upper half of some of the rides here, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it in B. Next, Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. I'm low-key feeling a D tier. I think that this would be a solid addition, but it's really not what they need. Kings Island really needs that A+ attraction, like a Steel Vengeance type of ride. And I don't know if there are really any Gerstlauers out there that are that, other than, I think it's called Schwerte Karnen, which that's literally like a hyper. And I don't know if Kings Island is willing to go that big for one of these attractions. But if they were going for like a good solid supporting cast ride, that would be an A tier for supporting cast rides. But for rides that I most want, that are feasible and are really good, it just can't go much higher. I think like a couple inversions, Beyond Vertical Drop's pretty cool too, but can't stack up. And another one that can't stack up, gonna be a dive coaster. They've been kind of toying around with a Giga Dive. I don't want that. Do not put that at Kings Island. It is not what they need. And I get that you could say like, oh, they need like a 90-degree drop. Orion is close enough in my opinion. And also, just a dive coaster is not it. Like, I guess, like, 90 degrees, cool. And then, what, like, 3 or 4 boring inversions? Like, I'd rather take a wing or a surf coaster, to be honest. Because the dives just ain't it. Especially, like, newer dives. Like, Valraven's alright. But, like, if Kings Island got, like, a $35 million, 300-foot Giga Dive coaster, I would actually be in distraught, because I don't want that. Please, Kings Island, if you're watching, do not add that, please. Please, 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 don't add it. But one B&M that I would be okay with adding is a B&M Surf Coaster. I'm gonna go C tier. I did go on Pipeline, the only one in the world, and I liked it a lot. I liked it more than any B&M dive that I've been on. I think that it could be a very unique ride, but there aren't enough in the world, so I can't say for sure. But I don't think, again, it would be like that A+ attraction. It would be a very solid supporting cast ride, but it would not be in the upper echelon when it comes to roller coasters across the world. But having some good airtime, because I think having a stand-up coaster would be cool, and having stand-up airtime would be really cool. Run a handful of inversions, I think that'd be really cool. The launch was really good. I really like the launch, and Kings Island does need another launch coaster, so that would kind of fill that gap. But I don't know. I think I would definitely have it more than the dive, but I don't know if I would have it more than a good old gatekeeper, good old wing. I'm gonna put wing at B. I know I'm kind of going all over the place here. I know I'm kind of going all over the place, my bad, but this would be really cool at the front entrance of the park. Most of these rides I've been talking about would fit really good in the Vortex plot of land, but if they were to add a gatekeeper type wing coaster at the front, that'd be really cool. And I know that wouldn't be the only addition. I know that they would revamp the entire front of the park, which is another thing that Kings Island does need. But again, not a A+ attraction. It would probably be around the Banshee level of in the park when it comes to compared to other rides. But I think this would be a really solid attraction. I would not be mad at this. I would definitely take it over these 3 below it. Maybe even over the Raptor. But one thing is that I do need some near-miss elements. I do need like some keyholes or something. I need one of those two. And I need Invertigo Gone. I know that's kind of like a big ask, but I need all of those things if I'm getting a Gatekeeper type of wing coaster. But on to the next one, Vekoma Launch Coaster. I'm going to go top of B tier. I think that this could be cool, but I have not been on a Vekoma Launch Coaster. Can't say for sure if it would be good or not. Obviously, the launch would be a big bonus. The airtime would be cool. Throwing a couple good barrel rolls or 0G rolls or whatever type of inversion you want to add. Beef up that inversion count and that launch count would be really good. But I just hope that they don't add like a smaller model, because a lot of Vekoma's launch coaster models are very small in like stature, not very long. And the only one that I can think of that's like actually like pretty intense is that Lect Coaster, I think is what it's called. I'd be good with one of those because that'd probably be like a top 3 in the park. But if you're talking just like a smaller model, then that could be like a D tier. But if we're talking like a larger model, like maybe like an Abyssus that's maybe even like more intense, or maybe even like a custom model, I'd be good with that. And it would be pretty unique for the United States, but one that would be even more unique, even though it's sadly getting added to Cedar Point. Well, it's still a good ride, but I wish it went to Kings Island, man. A tilt coaster would be so cool. Obviously, it would take care of that 90-degree drop I was talking about earlier, but it would also do the same thing like the other Vekoma, where it would add airtime, inversions, beef up that count, and also, like, it would just be so cool in the Vortex plot of land. Like, you can't tell me otherwise that it would be so cool in that plot of land. And obviously, it is a good addition to Cedar Point, but I low-key wish it went to Kings Island, because now it means that it's probably off the table, which is saddening, because having like a hyper tilt coaster at Kings Island would be lit. That would be so cool, but sadly, probably not possible. I'm gonna go to the Mach Launch Coaster, which I'm gonna go bottom of A. I think that this is definitely better than the Vekoma, I would say. It has launches, probably not as powerful. Definitely beef up that inversion count. If we got something like Copperhead Strike, but maybe like a little bit bigger, because Copperhead Strike's like a very compact ride, while the Vortex Land actually is like pretty big. So if we were able to like make it even longer, maybe even taller, if we got like a whatever the ride that is called, I forget what it's called, but if we got a ride like that where it's like 7 inversions, 2 launches, like 4 or 5 good airtime points, that would be really good. And people love some of these Mach rides. And another one that I would love at this park, Extreme Spinner. You can't tell me that this is the A+ ride that they would need. They need a ride like this, like I was saying. And while we're at it, let's put these two in that exact order as well. But I'm gonna list them out left or right. But the Mach Extreme Spinner would be so cool. They don't have a spinner. They would be able to beef up that launch count, beef up that inversion count. And just having a Ride to Happiness type ride here, elite. Everybody loves that ride. And imagine just like a time traveler on steroids on the other side of the Mississippi River. That would be so sick. But onto the RMC. Again, another one that probably ain't gonna happen just because Cedar Point is so close by. And especially since Kings Island would probably go after that hyper record. And I know Cedar Point and Steel Vengeance don't have the record anymore, but I don't know if like they would allow it. But an RMC would be perfect here as well. Having those inversions, having those amazing airtime moments, just that uniqueness and that creativity that comes with an RMC would be so good. Especially if you even like, it doesn't even have to be in the Vortex plot of land. I think like a Time Traveler or a Intamin launch coaster would be really good back there. But I think putting it in the old Son of Beast plot of land, pay homage to that ride, even if it isn't a hyper, it would be very cool to have like Grandson Beast or something. I know they wouldn't call it that. That would be really cool. Something that I would love to see. Give Steel Vengeance a run for its money for one of the best roller coasters in the world. And man, RMCs are just so good. Need one at my home park. But onto the Intamin launch coaster, the Blitz model. I would love this ride here. It would be like a Maverick type, and I love Maverick. Just that whippiness, the airtime, the inversions, the uniqueness that Intamin brings. The trains are so nice on the newer ones. Like, Velocicoaster is so sick. Having, like, all of the modern elements while still having that, like, old Intamin feel of, like, the whippiness and having those trains. It's just such a comfortable ride while being so intense, but re-rideable at the same time. It would be so elite to have one of these here, especially by, like, Beast. Imagine if it even, like, interacted with Beast, did, like, a 0G stall back there over the Beast or something. Like, that'd be cool. And, yeah. A airtime-packed ride, or maybe 6 inversions to pay homage to Vortex would be really sick. So, yeah, need that too. But this is the tier list. Sorry for the shorter episode, but I like this tier list where it's at. The reason why it is so short is because I didn't want to add, like, different coaster models that I didn't think were, like, plausible. And because I think all of these models here actually have a chance of being built. And there weren't many others that I could think of that had a chance. And I didn't just want to add, like, an extra, like, 15 models that I knew weren't going to actually happen. But out of the models, I would obviously love some of the top in S and A. But I wouldn't even be mad with some of the ones in, like, B, C, because those are really good rides. But I just hope that in the next attraction that Kings Island gets is a A+ attraction that they've been waiting to get for so long. But other than that, have a good day. Tell me what you guys think Kings Island should add. And, yeah, keep riding, I guess.